Teenagers, 20 and 30-somethings have been dubbed the millennial generation, or simply millennials. But what does it mean? And how old is too old to be a millennial? The term millennials generally refers to the generation of people born between the early 1980s and 1990s, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Some people also include children born in the early 2000s. Millennials, also known as Generation Y or the Me generation, are the demographic cohort that directly follows Generation X after founding Facebook, posting millions of selfies on Instagram, and answering their cell phones during job interviews. They've achieved the pinnacle of old-school print job. Breaking down the personality traits of millennials are the best way to understand this demographic. A typical millennial are entering their peak home buying years but still remain reluctant. They are half as likely to own a home at the age of 30 as the baby boomers did. One explanation is purely economic: jobs, or the lack thereof, higher prices in bigger cities. Opposed to the popular belief that millennials enjoy living with their parents, many actually do want to become independent. As a result, even though home ownership is currently low, millennials have created a boom in the rental market. A typical millennial are putting off significant milestones such as tying the knot and having children, thus waiting longer than any generation before them. Many factors are to blame: the economy, dating apps, dating culture has changed too, drawn-out divorce mess, student loan debts, being a less religious generation than previous ones, and the ability to delay parenthood, technology which allows women to get pregnant in their 40s. There's no surprise why the ritual of the bridal bouquet toss at weddings isn't as exciting as it once used to be. They cohabitate unmarried longer, but on a positive note, their divorce rates remain lower for now. Alternatively, this generation strongly believes in domestic partnerships. They live together, share a domestic common life, but not married. In the 1960s, only an estimated 10% of the boomer generation cohabitated like this, at least once before marriage, whereas today 65% of young adults cohabitate prior to tying the knot. Millennials are not only delaying marriage, they are also waiting longer to become parents. For most educated women, motherhood now begins in their 30s, reproducing at the slowest pace of any generation in the history. This Me generation declares they have certain personal and financial goals that they want to accomplish before embracing parenthood. As a consequence, smaller families seem to be on the horizon. The largest percentage of millennials believe they will have 2 children. Trends are also showing that they want to be the involved type of parents. Communication through technology, internet, cell phones, and social media is becoming the glue of the modern millennial family. Since many millennials themselves are the children of divorced or absent parents, they want to break the trend of broken families. However, demographers still worry about the aftermath of millennial family values. If women are becoming mothers at a much later age, it is unrealistic to expect an increase in births in this cohort, which will make up for all the declines in the younger age group. Consequently, if too few babies are born, who will support the growing number of retirees? Think about the redefining industries: companies like Uber, Lyft, Couchsurfing, Airbnb, Zipcar, bike share, etc. This is all what we call a sharing economy. Millennials are creating it, and technology is enabling. It is the biggest change since the Industrial Revolution. For many millennials, doing something is preferable to owning something. Have less, experience more, and even more so, it is all very pocket-friendly. Millennials are tech-savvy and they grew up with technology, and they rely on it to perform their jobs better. Armed with smartphones, laptops, and other gadgets, this generation is plugged in 24/7. They like to communicate through email, text messaging, and whatever new social media platform, i.e., Twitter, Instagram, friends and colleagues are using. This is a generation that can't even imagine a world without the internet or cell phones. Millennials, in large part, don't watch TV, don't go to church, and don't, it appears, dream, they text. According to researchers, more than 4 out of 5 sleep with or next to their cell phones. They own more cell phones, use their cell phones more, text more, and text while driving more than other generations. They're also more likely to own a cell phone as their only phone. Millennials are the largest buying cohort in existence, the ones reshaping consumer behavior with the help of technology and online clicking. This type of savvy online customer even buys food using grocery retail apps. With product information, reviews, and price comparisons available with a mere couple of taps on a touch screen, a true millennial will do online research before making a purchase decision. Millennials are the informed shoppers, they live online and they buy online. Millennials are impatient. The "we want it now" generation, bombarded with more than 5,000 marketing messages a day and as a result can't hold attention for more than 8 seconds. Millennials are empowered by information revolution to use technology to compete against organizations. We see hackers versus corporations, bloggers versus newspapers, YouTube channels versus studios, and apps versus entire industries. Hence, older generations feel like the youngsters don't really need them anymore. They are less likely than previous generations to put up with an unpleasant work environment and much more likely to use social networking to broadcast their concerns. While money is important, millennials do not see money as their only source of happiness. Rather, they feel rewarded by work arrangements that offer them more flexibility as they prioritize work-life balance higher than their previous generations. For senior workers, the office is for work and home is for fun. Millennials are pushing these boundaries. Many want the workplace to function as a kind of second family. Feeling included at the workplace is key for the typical millennial. Millennials are generally comfortable with the idea of a public internet life. Privacy, in the millennial eye, is mostly a concern of functional settings limiting who sees their online shares. This comfort with social media means they are good at self-promotion and fostering connections through online media. But this approach often results in an issue when comparing themselves to peers. Millennials are sometimes frustrated by the grass seeming greener on the other side of the fence. That impression may be due to people's image crafting, which emphasizes their good qualities and exciting parts of their lives. With the millennial generation on the rise, we are witnessing an important change in social norms within our society. Millennials made the conversion from analog to digital, from local to global, and are now creating collaborative lifestyles, sharing consumption. Additionally, this generation demonstrates high social media competencies, has strong purchasing power, and is slowly but steadily becoming established in the workplace. It will not be too long until millennials take over the scene, e.g. in business and politics.